Now it's time for our new music video. It highlights the many blessings of unity.
It wouldn't be a JW Broadcasting episode without a cheesy, cringeworthy music video. And the one for May is titled United Together. I mean, they're just becoming normal by this point. I can remember when they started doing these music videos, it was a real shock to the system because the organization I was raised in would quite frankly find this heretical or would find it way too close to televangelism and mainstream Christianity. But the rule book's just flying out of the window, isn't it? And the organization, the religion of today is unrecognizable. So who knows? I mean, nothing surprises me anymore. There were a couple of things I wanted to comment on about this particular video, and you'll see what I mean, especially if you go and watch the full thing, which I'm sure many of you want to do. Now that you've seen this teaser, you'll go straight away, I'm sure, to the jw.org website to download the full file. But one thing you notice when you watch the full thing is that intermittently they show governing body members. You saw there Stephen Lett giving a talk. Samuel Hurd appears twice. Even Gary Bro, who's a governing body helper, I think he appears twice. So they're very clearly trying to smuggle in these prominent members of the Jehovah's Witness hierarchy so that, again, witnesses can identify who their leaders are. It's such a huge departure from how things were done when I was in this organization, and it was all supposed to be about serving God, not serving man. We used to pride ourselves on not knowing who the members of the governing body were. In fact, that was one of the lines we used in the ministry. When people used to say, oh, you're just coming here because your leaders have sent you, we'd say, well, we don't know who our leaders are. How can you say that nowadays in 2022 as a Jehovah's Witness? You're forced effectively to know who your leaders are. They're thrust in your face at every opportunity. And the other thing I'm sure you noticed was the baptism scene. I'm calling it a scene because it looks staged to me. It doesn't look like it's like a real baptism, because you see it, maybe Tibor can overlay, you see the baptism and then you see the baptism being viewed with the camera positioned behind the two ladies there, implying to me that they've just depicted a baptism. But if they have depicted it, what they've chosen to do, as you can see there, is show a child being baptized. Always makes my blood boil and we've touched on it recently because there's this increasing focus on getting children baptized. They're blatant about it nowadays. But again, it's so wrong to get an individual, manipulate an individual into pledging their entire life to an organization when they're too young to vote, too young to get a job, too young to get into a contract, too young to go to jail. The government, the state, doesn't recognize them as a fully fledged citizen. And yet this organization will exploit their innocence, will exploit childhood credulity to get them to pledge to the organization. Even though the organization itself may change its teachings, the child that gets coerced into baptism by its parents can never change their minds. Or if they do change their minds, if they do decide they can no longer believe, they are to be shunned. They are to be ostracized. It's detestable. There's no other word. And it always makes my blood boil. But this is a practice, child baptism, that the organization is clearly very proud of.